My name is Christine Thatcher, and I am the registrar and the director of enrollment services. This is Kelly Miller. She's the assistant director of enrollment services. And our office handles everything: registration, graduation, student records, testing, all of that happens in enrollment services. So if you have any questions or concerns about any of those types of things, let us know. If transcripts, we'll generate transcripts for you. We do your evaluations from other colleges. All of that stuff happens in enrollment services. We also keep track of all your student records. So grades, everything comes through our office, attendance, all that. Okay. So if you have questions about your record, just let us know. Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. And share. Okay. So this is our homepage right here. Hopefully you've seen it before. I'm just going to start by showing you how to access. How many of you guys have been in your Wolf Web already? Most of you. Okay. So there's a lot of information on our web page, but what I'm focusing on today is our students page. So current students, you would click on the three lines on the right, and then under students, this is the landing page. This is the information you need on how to log into your account. If you ever forget, there's ways that you can do that. Username recovery tool, self-service password. If all else fails, submit a help desk ticket. Many of those will come to my office as well so that we can handle whatever is going on with your record. Graduation and commencement information is here. Once we get close to spring and you want to walk in graduation, you want to make sure you pay attention to this page. When dates are relevant, those will pop up on there as well. Academic information and resources are over here. There's lots of information in here: class schedules, library schedules, official transcripts, registering for classes. What I do want to point out is this one, student forms. There's a lot of things that you may need us to do in the student records office, and there's forms for just about everything you need. So if you need to change your name, or your date of birth is incorrect, or something's wrong with your grade, all of those forms are on that student forms page. So I'd encourage you to check it out. They're alphabetized. So there's financial aid forms and veterans forms and housing forms that you may need for financial assistance or just updating information in your record. And then the team in enrollment services is also very helpful. If you need anything or have questions about anything, just email studentrecords@bluecc.edu, and we'll do our best to take care of what it is that you need, or at least direct you to the person who can fix it for you. And then down here, these are important deadlines for you. So fall, this is our fall term. Registration opened in May. The term begins on Monday, and it closes on September 24th. What does that mean? Does anyone know what that means? Anyone want to answer? No? Okay. It's when registration closes, it closes. That means you cannot add or drop classes. So if you need to make schedule changes, do it now. Work with your navigator, work with your advisor, and make those changes now, because on after the 24th, you won't be able to change anything unless you go through us. And there's forms, like I said, for everything that you need. So if you need to make updates, do it now, and then hopefully you won't have to make adjustments later. But sometimes you'll attend a class and you'll be like, oh shoot, I don't want to do Math 95. I don't like that. So I'm going to change it to something else. You can do that in the first couple of days, but after that, you wouldn't want to do that anymore. Last day to withdraw. That date's actually, I don't know why it says invalid, but there is a date on our academic calendar. That means that after that day, there has to be extreme circumstances for you to get out of a class, but the W will still show up on your schedule as a grade, and you still owe. After this registration period ends, you can still withdraw from a class, but you will have a W on your transcript, and you will owe the tuition for that class. So try to make all those adjustments beforehand. And then the term ends on December 5th. So if you want to know when you can register for winter term, it starts November 10th. I'll show you what that looks like on your dashboard if you haven't seen it already. And then again, there's dates. So we got dates for the entire 4 terms within a year. Any questions about that page before we move on? Okay, I've already logged into our sample student, but if you do need to log in, you would just hit this button here, and it'll take you to our sample student, Timber, who you met this morning. He actually has an account with us, so he's registered for classes and withdrawn from classes before. I'm just gonna run through this really quick. This is your dashboard. Your portal looks like this. It's exactly like this, but the courses will be different and the items that you owe will be different, but it is basically the same. Up here on the right, I'm going to show you the links. This is how you access Canvas. There is a training on Canvas today as well. Once you've registered for courses, it syncs up with your account and it'll give you access to all the information on each course in Canvas. It's like its own little dashboard with little squares for each course. And email. The importance of email, we do every communication that we send to you is going to be through your email. Most of the time, we won't send it to your personal email. So please make sure you have access to this email on your phone or your tablet or computer, whatever it is you're using. Because if you have questions that you email us or ask us, we're going to send the answer back to your student email. There's privacy issues around that. So we want to make sure that we protect your privacy as much as possible. So that's why we send everything through our secure email. Does that make sense? And then if you need assistance that we can't help you with, or you don't know where to go for, you just click this question mark and that takes you to the help desk ticket system, and our IT department is on call. They can answer your questions and fix it as quickly as they can, or they'll direct it to someone who may be able to fix it. So if you're having trouble with seeing like your course in your Canvas, you would just do an IT help desk ticket and let them know that, and they'll make sure the person who's in charge of Canvas turns that on for you. Does that make sense? And then of course you can always call BMCC and get through that way as well. But sometimes this helps too, because you can just do it really quick and leave it unless you need it urgently. Any questions about these three icons up here? Perfect. Okay, so your dashboard will show, I'm going to show you this one really quick. This is a brand new box. We have a new bookstore. So if you want access to the bookstore, you just click this, opens a new tab, and it gives you information on how to buy a book, how to create an account, how to access your ebooks, and then information about inclusive access. It, like I said, it's brand new. I don't know a ton about it, but we're working through making sure we understand it so we can help students. I know some of our navigators have already created their own accounts, so they can walk you through that if you get stuck. Let's see, back to this person. If you have financial aid, you'll be able to access that information from here, where you can see how much you're getting, your award letters, you can accept those awards, and you'll have access to all your financial aid information. You can also reach out to financial aid through this phone number or this email address. And on the right side over here is your ledger information. If you have a balance due, this will turn yellow at a certain point. So all payments are due by a certain day. After that day, when it turns yellow, that means you have hold on your account and you're no longer able to register for the next term until it's paid. But right now, Timber doesn't have a balance, so he's fine. Before it turns yellow, there should be a pay button. So if Timber owed $500 right now, I would be able to click that and make a payment online. You can also call us or walk in and we'll take your payments right there. And if you have financial aid, that information will show up in here once financial aid is paid out for the term, which usually happens the second or third week, I think. And you can also see itemized which courses you're taking, how much they cost. Any fees will be listed in here too, like a student services fee, for example. And the only reason these are showing as nothing is because we registered him and then unregistered him. So it's a minus number now. But you can also see all the previous terms that you paid. So you kind of have a running list of all the things that you've been owed or paid. Over on this middle side, this is your registration widget. When a registration period is open, this will show up. When the registration period is closed, it will disappear. So if you open your dashboard on September 25th and you don't see registration, that's because we're done with registration online. You might see a list of classes. You could see your enrolled classes. If you have any left in the planning status, that will show up, but there will be no way for you to register or make changes in there. If you have a declared goal, like a declared goal is also your degree. So Associate of Arts Oregon Transfer, Associate of Science, EMT certificate, that will show up here. And your navigator, your advisor, will help you understand how to read that. Once you have an actual one listed, it should show up here as declared. But since Timber's graduated from this one, nothing's going to show up below. But typically, if you had an actual goal here, you would see percentages and like a pie chart of what you still need to do. And then when you open it up fully, you'll see all of the courses you still need to take and all the ones that you've completed with little icons like green boxes and color coding. So if you need help understanding that, you can reach out to somebody in student records. You can also reach out to your navigator or advisor. It's a really great way to keep track of what you still need to do for your degree. And then on this side over here, there are certain things in your record that you can change and update. Oh, let me point out your advisors. Right now, you probably have a navigator, Jenny, Jalen, or somebody from our recruitment office. Once you've completed your first term, they will switch you to an academic faculty advisor. So that person will be an instructor like Stan Beach or maybe one of the instructors you're taking classes from. So you would have two names here. And so then you would follow through the rest of your time at VMCC with that advisor. You can always go back and talk to your navigator, but they try to hand you off to somebody that's going to sort of help pay attention to what's going on in your degree and in the classes that you need and follow you through the rest of the time that you're here. If you switch your declared goal or your degree at some point, that person will switch. So our Office of Instruction will go through every term and make sure they have an updated list of all of the students who switched goals, and then they'll switch you from, so say you're doing ag, they're going to switch you from the ag faculty person to like EMT, which are two different people. And it'll just help you get through the whole process. So you could see two names here as well. But their emails are here and you know their names. So if you call us, if you say I need to speak with my advisor, we can look and see who that is and help you get to that person. I didn't point this out in the last one, but if you don't want your information released to anyone, including yourself, you would put this up here and you can add or revoke those through a student forms page. Right now, if Timber called me, I would not be able to give him any information about his account without seeing him in person with an ID. But I will also say that any one of you who has a parent or a family member who wants to call and ask questions about your account, we will not give that information out. So I understand that some people's parents are paying for school. If they call and ask me your balance, I won't tell them. They can tell me I want to pay $100 and I'll take the payment over the phone, but I won't tell them how much you owe, whether you're attending classes, how many classes you're taking, because your information is protected for you. If you want to authorize us to give information out to someone, there's a form on our student forms page called authorization to release information. You would just tell us who that is. So I had a son in college a couple of years ago as a freshman, and I made some calls and they were like, oh, we don't have permission to talk to you. I'm like, shoot, I mean, to make him give permission to them to talk to me about his account. So it's the same idea here. And this doesn't show up for everybody. You won't see this. This is only for students whose information is not allowed to be shared with anyone, including like a recruiting list or like a graduation list. For example, if you get honors in your first term here and you get all A's, you should technically be on the president's list. But if you have this red thing on here, I won't send that information to anyone to publish it. So that means your name wouldn't be published in the newspaper. It would just be the people that don't have that red bar up there. So just if you see it, let us know and we'll help you get it off if you don't want it on there. Here's your ID number. A lot of times we'll ask you for your ID number. If you need it, it's always at the top next to your name. This is your username, your date of birth is here, and your social security number if you have one on file. This information you cannot change on your own in this box. Most of the information down here in the second area, you can adjust on your own just by going here. And you can update if you move, update your address, you can update your phone number, you can update your personal email. So yeah, this is just basically demographic information that we collect when you fill out your application. Any questions about any of that on the dashboard? It's kind of a busy, full dashboard, but feel free to explore it. If you have questions about it, let us know. I'm going to go through these tabs up here. So my classes, if you're registered for classes, they would show up over here. You have a drop down of the courses you've taken at certain times. So you can select those and then see the classes that you either planned, enrolled, or withdrew from. Withdraw doesn't mean that you have a W, it just means that you dropped the class at some point. If you withdrew, it would still show up in here as a withdrawn. Course history by term. This is a nice way to see all the courses that you've taken, your grades, your credits, the action, whether you dropped or added it to your registration history. It's in chronological, so it just shows by term, most recent on top. Quick links, you have access to your unofficial transcript if you ever want to see your cumulative GPA or any other things that you're curious about, what courses you took or what they look like on a transcript. You can just print this. It'll take you to a place where you can download that. If you're coming in from another college, or you took dual credit in high school from another college, you would want to have that transcript sent to us so we can apply those courses to your current degree. And in order to do that, you'll fill this out as well. So you'll call the college and order them. And then you'll also fill out this form so we know what to apply it to. Because we can't go through and just use every single course. We're only going to use the ones that apply towards the degree that you're going for right now. If you want to order official transcripts from BMCC to be sent to another college or university once you're ready to transfer, this is the button you'll use. There's a whole form and a payment link that you have to go through. You tell us where to send it and we'll send it electronically to them, and then they get it within a couple of days. If you want to change your degree at all, you'll click this, fill this out. We only process these at the end of each term before the beginning of the next term. So once one term ends, there's a short window of time where we'll process them, because once the term starts, we can't make those changes anymore. So if you want to switch from EMT to AOT, you just fill this form out and let us know. And if you send it to us in the middle of the term, we'll just put it on hold until the end of the term. But we'll let you know we got it. Here's another link for Canvas, another link for your bookstore, another link for your email. And then once you're ready to complete your degree and you feel like you're close to done, you can fill out this application for graduation. You can do that at any time during the year. You don't have to wait till the very last term. As a matter of fact, we encourage you to do it 1 or 2 terms ahead of time so we can review that application and make sure you're on track to graduate. Because if you're not, you might need to add extra classes to your next terms. You can also complete your degree at any point during the year. We award degrees at the end of each term, not just in spring. So if you are working a little bit ahead and you finish in fall, just fill out the application. You can still walk in our spring graduation, but you'll complete your degree in the previous term. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's see what else. Student holds. If you have a hold on your account and you can't register for some reason, there would be a yellow button up here that says 1 hold or 2 holds or 3 holds, depending on how many you have. We do use those occasionally. Like if we're waiting for a form for some reason, we'll put a hold on the account. It blocks you from registering, so you won't be able to register for your next term. Doesn't kick you out of classes, but it definitely puts a block on there for you. If you click on this button, if you see that yellow up here, you click on this, you would be able to then see what the reason was for the hold. The whole list will show up there for you. And how active if it's active still or cleared, or if it's cleared, there wouldn't be a yellow button. But this Timber doesn't have any holds currently, so that's good. Print your schedule. If Timber was registered for classes, we would be able to see the schedule here. You can also hit the print button and print it, carry it around, take a screenshot, send it to your mother, dad, whatever you need, to make sure people know what you're doing. And also it's just a good way to keep track of where your classes are.